Good morning, everyone. This is Baha Pips, and it's currently Sunday, January 29th, 2023, 10:33 a.m., and I'm here in China. I'm a little off the east coast of China, in between Shanghai and Ningbo, if those of you that are familiar with the Chinese landscape. And today I'm going to be going over my trading back testing results. I want to do some live back testing in front of you. And I want to go over a few theories that I just want to show you all why certain things don't work, why certain things sound good, and why most retail traders are going to be stuck within that retail realm. We're going to cover all of that in this video. I'm going to try to make it as short as possible. So you can see it's very cold right now. It's 11 degrees Celsius, so it's really not the warmest. I'm no longer in the Philippines, and so it'll be warming up within the next few weeks. And it's the end of the winter time, so I'm not really worried. I'm in a nice, cozy hotel room, and yeah, it's just another Sunday for me. It's my prep work. I normally on Sundays I do a lot of back testing and forward testing. We using my software we have here. This software is called Forex Tester, and it's a very great software for those of you that are advanced in your technicals and you want to take it to the next level and actually be more confident in your trading when it comes to the live sessions. In today's video, I want to go over step by step, little by little. Let's start off with the basic theories about trading. So many times I come across different videos and they have what's called an if then scenario. And I'm on the 1 minute chart, but let's go out to the hourly just so I can show you all just some examples in hindsight as well. And then I'll show you some examples in real time and explain why hindsight looks good and why real time does not look good. So let's go back to, we can all see the charts, right? So let's go back to February 23rd, 2021. So I was doing some back testing, some live back testing in this data over the course of the past few days. And that's why I have this chart only brought all the way to March 3rd. But there's a lot of hoopla going around on the internet. This is why I don't trust nor believe anyone giving out trading advice online unless they're credible. You might ask, why are you trusting me? Well, I mean, if you've been following me for some time, I've pretty much highlighted my entire journey and I've been very transparent from day one. You can go back to the start of my YouTube and see my videos when I was swing trading. And I even have videos explaining why I stopped swing trading and transitioned to scalping. Long story short, I just didn't like having a large capital account sitting there throughout the year. Trading, you know, if I trade low risk, I'm not really generating that large of profits unless I have a super large account. And if I use high risk, it's high risk. I don't trade high risk anymore. There's some times when I would risk about 5 to 10% per position, and I would get back like 20, 30, 40%. But that was really high risk because all it takes is one losing streak. It's going to wipe out all your winners for the month or the year. And then you're sitting back at square one. And then you have to reset your trading. So it's not like I blew an account, but over the course of time, I've been swing trading for many years. There may be some good years that the market gives where you're actually trading and you might have a few consistent months. If you look at here on the daily, you see that if you're swing trading from these highs back around January 5th, 2021, if you took the short, basically, my mouse is really quick. I don't know why it's doing that. Get this off. Okay. 1 minute, y'all. Okay, if you took the short, say you see this swing high right here, you see the rejection, you see another swing high. If you took a short right around here, I don't know what to call this pattern, but let's just hypothetically say it was a what we call it, a double top pattern, and you took a short basically right off of this low. You could have hypothetically have a risk reward of, you could have risked this many pips. I actually want to do this, but my crosshair is really crazy right now. Yeah, see, it's not lining up. I think it's because I'm recording. I don't like that though. See, every time I move around this little zone, it's like skipping. So, all right, forget it. But I just wanted to show you, see the amount of pips. I think I can do it like this. Just a moment, y'all. No, it's not doing anything. Okay, so if you risked about 98, about 100 pips. For 2 to 1, you're going for at least 200 pips. So you have to sit there. Number one, your rule is you have to sit there for at least 200 pips to get that 2 to 1. So the 2 to 1 barely got hit. If you gone anything more than 2 to 1, you would have to wait another couple weeks. As you can see, it went from 15th of January all the way to the end of January. So you have to wait at least a couple weeks for it to hit that 2.5 to 1. And then you have to move your stop losses and everything just to see it hit your 2 to 1 if it did not hit your 3 to 1 target, because it does not go 3 to 1. So there's a lot of rules that you have to sit aside and wait while you're swing trading. And I just didn't like that because I would be in certain trades for 2 weeks at a time, sometimes even 3 weeks. And I'm not that patient. So if you're trading, especially if you're trading with a 5-figure account and you want to generate enough income so you can get yourself a nice lifestyle, it's really not recommended to trade with a 5-figure account trying to swing trade, 2 to 1s. You have to go high risk. So what I started doing was I was trading, for example, US 30. I believe I had a 60K account. It was on my Instagram, all documented, and I brought it up to 600K, but that was high risk. So what I did was, yes, I would have like 100 pips, okay, as my stop loss, and then I would have like 200 pips as my profit target. But I would scale into my orders. So as it goes in my favor, so I'll start off, basically I'll have a position size of maybe 20% risk, and I'll split that 20% risk up by 3. So I'll have 2/3 of that 20% risk at this high. So as long as it goes in my favor, I'll add the additional 1/3 if it goes 1R in my favor. So as it was doing that, I added 1R instead of collecting money. So now I'm sitting through the trade and I'm uncertain. Uncertainty kills you. I was uncertain as to when it was going to hit my profit target. The only reason that I knew that I had an edge in my favor because I've done it enough times to start trading at that high risk. So many times it would go down to my 2 to 1 target, and then I'll close out about, what was it, about 2/3 of my trade. So I will collect those profits and then it'll come back against me. And then I look for a pattern, I look for a failure, and then I'll enter maybe a half of whatever that was up there. And then I'll continue to trade it all the way down to the next target. So that's kind of how I was trading when I was swing trading. And it did work out very well. But the thing is, like I said, it was high risk. There's a lot of uncertainty still. You have an edge in your favor, but if market conditions change, you're fucked. You're screwed up. Like, there's nothing that you can do if, say, I traded it right here and right around, it says 0.0. I know this is kind of messed up. It's just the back testing software, but if I traded it right around here and then you see it pop back up, well, first of all, your stop loss could get hit if it was only right there. If your stop loss is way wider now, you're sitting there panicking just for it to go in your favor like a month later. So these are things that were happening to me that I just did not like. And, I would have really good runs during the year. And then there would be parts of the year where my strategy just didn't work out as well. And sometimes you could even take losses. And then you have to sit there. You have to have a gut. You have to have a heart to be able to tell yourself, listen, I know my thing is going to work out in the long term. My strategy has been proven right in the previous years. I just got to keep trading in this way. And I would have counter strategies in case market does change. And that's what made me so profitable as well, because say if I was bearish here, I knew that if it broke above these highs right here where my mouse is moving, and it did, I would have to shift my bias and then I would be looking for long. So when it went up here and went for the retest, I probably would have went long right around here. Now I think I can use a cross here. Now I think it's not going to skip. So I probably would have went high right around here around December 29th. And I would have took it on up. Maybe I would have had a 100 pip stop loss and go for at least 200 pip target. I would collect half of my trades at the 100 pip target, but then the other half would hit maybe the stop loss coming down below at break even. So I would collect that trade, and then, there'll be another entry to the downside, I'll probably enter right there for another 200 pips. It does end up going to that target with a 100 pip stop loss, and that's how I would trade throughout the entire year. So I had strategies that would change as the market conditions change, but this is more of an advanced tactic that I was using, and it was great for the development of my character and the development of my trading system. But like I said, you need large capital in order to swing these type of weeks. If you want money here and now and more immediate, it's not gonna work, and it's gonna just mess with your psychology, and it's gonna make you more impatient. You're gonna want to trade different markets. You're gonna want to skip around, and you can't. You have to stick to that one pair. So I was really profitable because I stick with US 30, Bitcoin, and gold, and I had one crypto, I had one commodity, and I had one index, and that's all I was doing. I was just trading those three pairs. Sometimes I would trade the forex pairs, but because the forex market is just different movement, I wasn't as profitable in the forex pairs, but I had a pretty diversified portfolio, and that's kind of how I was trading. So the way I was trading, I was shocking the swing trading world because people from all over the world. I'm talking about celebrity traders. I would see them peek on my stories sometimes, like verified checks. All these people, like, I'm not gonna name any names, drop any names, but I had everyone viewing my stories. Like, how in the world is this guy doing this? And you know, I just kind of kept quiet about how I was doing it. In this video, for the first time, I actually explained how I was doing it, and it's very easy and simple to me. And I can go back to swing trading any day, and I could tear the markets up. But like I said, I need a large account. So by the time I got to from the 60K all the way to like the 600K mark, I was just like, damn, let me up the risk. And then I tried upping the risk, and the market conditions changed, and it changed to a point where it started going range bound, and I was only great when it was swing trading, when it was trending. So this was a downtrend, it reversed back to an uptrend, it reversed back to a downtrend. So say I was eating here, I was eating here, I was eating here, and then it goes into a range, sideways movement. So what happens in the range now is I want to go long here, and I have my stop loss here and profit target up here, and it hits a stop loss. And then I want to go short once it hits here, but sometimes it might go back up into the high of the range and hit the stop loss. And so I would be trapped in a range, and throughout the year, that 600K went down to 400K. And then that's kind of when I stopped swing trading. It was like, okay, I'm gonna take what I learned, and I'm gonna just sit aside and let me learn how to do short term trading, because there's a lot of things that happen in between that I don't know about. So let's go into the 4 hour time frame, and I'll explain to y'all about the short term now. So as we can see, the market was going on an uptrend right here. Let me just get the crosshair ready. Okay, this is really annoying. It's not. See that it's not really doing much. It's probably because I'm recording and my recording software is interfering with my. I have a Windows 11 right now. It's Parallels, so I'm operating Windows on my Mac, and it kind of probably interfering with the software. So hopefully y'all can see my mouse. So there was an uptrend right here, and it kind of ended right there. So I can actually put a graphic element so y'all can see where it ended. So this little range right here, it wasn't that many pips, but as you can see, trying to go long here with a stop loss here, thinking it's going to continue on up like it's been doing the entire time, it kind of confuses you. And then it goes down, and then it goes down. But then right when you're about to get in, say around here, it consolidates and it goes back on up, and it goes into a sideways market. You see that, right? So imagine if your strategy took a loss right here, you lose 10%, then you try to go again, you took a loss again, and then you try to go long, then you try to go short finally, and then you took a loss. So you lost 3 times, or 30% of your account, in the matter of a couple of weeks. And these things happen quite often in the swing trader's journey that they don't really highlight. And so, like I said, I'm fully transparent. I have nothing to hide. A lot of these swing traders online, they're only going to show you their glory days. They're only going to show you the good, and they're not going to show you the difficult part of the journey. Now, I've been trading for over 11 years now. Throughout my journey, I've had these times occur quite often. And the reason why is still very, very mysterious, because the market is its own entity. It moves where it wants to go, when it wants to go. And none of us can foresee the global economy. We don't know what's going to happen in the world in the next few months. We don't know what's going to happen in the world next week, or we barely even know what happened yesterday. So that's my point. If you're not an oracle, you have to have parameters set where you understand that there's certain times that the conditions are going to change where you're not going to make any money in your strategy. And so my strategy might have been 75, 80% profitable, meaning that 80% of the time that I would see my signals, it would work. The other 20% or whatever percent of the time, it won't work, or it will barely work. It'll go maybe in the money a little bit, and then it'll get stopped out or whatever. It'll just do its own thing. And so I found out that my system was slightly flawed. And what was killing me was my own self sabotage, my own trading within these little ranges. I'm trying to go long right here. My stop loss is hit before my target is hit. It shifts. I want to go short there. Before a 2-to-1 maybe down there is hit, my stop loss gets hit. And it just keeps on doing these things, you know? Look at, you're waiting weeks just for your stop loss to get hit. And then I tried to diversify my portfolio by trading other markets because I realized that, okay, at this time of the year, the Forex market's not good to trade. Let me trade gold. And then it might do the same thing with these other pairs throughout the year. So it took a very long time for me to grasp that concept. And it really killed my performance because I'm a great trader. I believe I'm a great trader. But there's always more to learn and there's always more areas to grow in. And so it was a very slow and long journey for me. So a lot of you swing traders that are out there, I hope you're taking this video and you're understanding that it's a long journey. It's a marathon. And this is why, like, this is one of the reasons why even after you get really good at it, there's going to be times where it's slow and you're not making money. And then it might take a few years for you to realize that, hey, this is why it ranges. And strategies don't really work that good in ranges. So I didn't really learn that until I got to my short-term trading, in which I'm showing y'all now, the 1 minute. So the 1 minute chart, one reason why I love the 1 minute chart is because I can actually, I'll show y'all right now. I can actually box my zones up into low ranges, like right here. And I could do the same thing on the 1 minute as what's going on in the larger time frames. So for this one, for example, it's going on down, it's going on up. It's doing the same thing that we were just looking at on the 4-hour. But the difference is it's moving at a much faster rate. See, the 10th of February, within the same day, it's in that range. And within the same day, it reaches the highs of the range, lows of the range. It's not doing much. But the same day, it breaks the low, and it's showing the shift. It's over now. The market's closed. So wait till the next day. This right here, the data I just showed y'all, this would have took months on the 4-hour time frame. And it's the same exact data that you're getting on the minute. And then you're able to adapt with the market. So, okay, it broke the range. Now maybe it's going to go down. Maybe you have to wait a little bit, but it fails to go down. It breaks back up to the highs of the range. So right away, I don't know what's going to happen next, but right away, you have a minor uptrend right there. So what do you do when you have an uptrend? Well, you look for buys now because it's moving back up. And not only that, but you have all this space to the upside as opportunity. So if you're looking for longs the entire time, you might end up scoring, kind of like how it just showed right here. This on the 4-hour would take weeks, if not months, to form. But on the 1 minute, you can just wait until the next trading day. Maybe you had a bad trading day and you want to trade again. This is what the benefits of trading on the smaller time frames. You can adapt. This right here, you could have been short right here. Stop loss above, stop got hit, look back, reflect. Okay, it's no longer going down. It looks like it might break out. Wait till the breaks of this highs, you go long. Maybe your stop loss is down here, 2-to-1 hits easily, right? This is something that you learn on the shorter time frames that takes a fraction of the time. And then you become a master at the markets a lot faster. Now, this is some stuff that I'm showing you because it's free information. I don't care if you're watching this with my very few viewers that actually do pay attention. You can see if this is all clicks in your head, you're no longer ever going to want to trade on these time frames because you see what I just explained. Like, This shit just takes too long. Like the same thing happens. It breaks the lows of the range because it was going down. Trends always end. So if you know that a trend is always ending, why are you going to be looking for the continuation? Let me try to click on this. Show y'all up real quick. Okay. So if you know this trend is going to end, you see the high right there, and then you see the low right there. So this is the low of the trend. And it finally breaks that low of the trend and shows a little promise, but then it reverses, stops you out. A lot of swing traders are like, no, 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 it's still going on down. You know, they're fighting the bias of the market and they don't know when to adapt. And so the trend ended already. And people like me, we see that it's ended and we're looking for confirmation to continue on up. And I would have probably been in right when it dipped down there and it popped back on up there and it showed another fake out. I would have went long right there. Stop loss would have been right there. Quick 2-to-1 to the highs, in and out before you even noticed. This is on a 4-hour time frame. This trade still would have took a few days to complete, but nowadays I have the patience to advance my trading so I can be able to swing trade at a much more rapid rate, much more consistent, much more fluent. If I go back to the larger time frames of swing trade, my duration of trading is only going to last a couple of days at most because I've mastered the art of price action on the smaller time frame because I went through the discipline and the skill and the training down here, which is doing the same thing. It breaks down low, it fails, it's starting to push on up. You look for your entry. You know, I'm not gonna explain everything in this video. It's gonna take too long and you still won't understand because you have to practice it. But this is just a brief summary. Like, you know, it failed. The trends do end. And when trends end, new trends form. And if you want to get the most profitable trading, you have to be at the beginning of a new trend. How are you going to be at the start of a new trend? Well, the new trends start when an old trend finishes. So if you can always identify when an old trend is broken and when a new trend is beginning, then that's when you're going to become more of a master at the arts of trading. And that's all it is all year long, even on the minute, all day long. I sit here and I study these things. The trend is over. Let's see how long this trend lasted. This trend lasted that long. It went into a range. It went to a little minor trend up above. I'll show y'all right now. I see all of it. I see everything. A little minor trend right here. That kind of ended. Went to a little peak. There we go. A little fake out to the highs. You see the downtrend? Downtrend started right there. I'm going to highlight it for those of you that can't see. The downtrend started right here. You don't see that? Point A, point B, point C, A, B, C, D. It made the Elliott wave to the downside. There you go. You officially have a trend to the downside. What else do you notice? The momentum, the magnitude of this trend shifted. You see this is no longer bullish. Would you buy if you see this happening? Would you want to buy right here? Does this look like it's promising to go up? Probably not. Your buy is way below this major move that just happened. So me, I would have probably sold right here and I would have probably took my profits down to these lows with a 2-to-1. This target right here is like a 4-to-1. So it don't matter what I risk. I could have made 4 times what I risked as long as I was in at the right entry. This is something that I'm going to go back to the 4-hour now. This trend is ending right here. I hope you're taking these lessons. I hope you're learning a thing or two if you're watching this. What the frick is this? Discard that real quick. Delete. Shoot, what did I just do? I think I did something wrong. I pressed the delete button, but I have a running trade now. This should be closed because this is the back testing software. I was gonna explain that in a moment. I'll probably end up doing it in my next video though. But yeah, basically, I just want to delete that line for y'all. Now you can't really see it, but let's go back to the 4-hour, back to what I was showing, and show y'all real quick. Graphic element, trend line, and yeah, right here, we have an uptrend. See, I don't know why it's doing this. Trend line. Why is it? What is this, y'all? What is this? Okay, it's not. It's not. You see this? Why is it? Why is it doing this? All right. Well, I'm sure you can kind of understand what I'm trying to do without the software kind of bugging out on me. But we see that there's an uptrend, and we see that it kind of failed right here in the 4-hour, and then a downtrend started. So we can see that graphic element right here. And the downtrend started, and as long as you get in at the right point, you can get out. You have multiple opportunities to get in until it ends. Now that downtrend ended, there's a minor uptrend. Do you want to take part in it? That's up to you, your own strategy. I wouldn't have went long here because the uptrend is not strong enough. They're still on a major downtrend. And then you look for a short. If the uptrend fails right around this point, look for a short right here, get it down. So this happens all the time throughout the markets. And if you learn how to adapt sooner, you're not going to be sitting there for months, if not years, in confusion. Because a lot of these guys and gals that are online, they're never going to get this. They're never going to get this sauce because they're too busy trying to look good in front of the public. They're too busy trying to sell something on the side. And that's something that I'm highly against. A lot of people, they want to sell courses. I have nothing against courses, especially if you know what you're doing. But if you have an incomplete trading system and you're still learning, you're still on your journey, please don't sell a course because you're just going to slow your journey down, number one. And number two, you're going to just confuse others that are trying to learn, certain things. Some people really want to learn how to swing trade, but if you have an incomplete system, you're just teaching people crap that is incomplete because maybe you're going to go back in the future and correct your mistakes that you taught in the course. Now you have people that are really trying to learn, but they're learning your mistakes that you never even admitted that they were mistakes. That's why a lot of these gurus online, they're selling something and then they have updates. Oh, the updated version of this course. Oh, this course 2.0. This course Confluence 3.0, whatever. They have so many updates of the course, like a textbook. Why are you updating your system so much? Your system should only be tweaked a couple times a year, and that's when the market conditions change. If I have a trend trading system that's looking for swing highs to go down to lows, I'm only going to tweak it when it does start to shift to the upside. And I'm going to tell y'all, okay, maybe we're going to go long here if we have a continuation and if these lows right around 1.20839 does not get broken. What happens? The lows get broken and then you do not have a long anymore. So you're looking for sells all the way down and you see it all in this area selling it. So that's just to sum up this video. I want to keep it short and sweet. I don't want to talk for too long. I want to split this segment up into a couple little parts. But hopefully y'all took some great information from this video. I explained, why I don't swing trade anymore. Everything pretty much why I scalp, why I trade the smaller, shorter time frames. What else was I supposed to cover in this video? Why most traders fail when they swing trade. A lot of the reasons also is because they don't want to admit to themselves like, hey, my strategy is flawed. This ain't working out for me right now. And instead of system hopping, what they should be doing is honing down on their own strategy and system and figuring out the faults within it. What mistakes am I making? Why am I holding something for, let's go back to the 4 hour. Why am I holding a sell from down here, January 14th? Why am I holding this sell all the way to the 26th? Why don't I just get out here and wait for confirmation to the downside? Even if you took this short right here, did you know that you're shorting it into an uptrend that's not complete yet, which is why you get stopped out or why you have to wait? Why am I waiting? Maybe you're waiting a very long time for your profits to get hit because you're no longer trading this downtrend. This downtrend that you think you're shorting, your stop loss might be up here, and then you're shorting it right here, thinking that the stop won't get hit because it's predominantly bearish. And that's correct. You're right. You're right in some parts, but you're wrong in other parts. So you're right about that. It's predominantly bearish. But how long has this bearish trend been going on? 4th of January all the way through to the 19th of January. So that's about 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks. So about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, this downtrend has been going on. So do you know that once you enter this short, you might have to wait 2.5 weeks for this to continue on to your target? How long did it actually take from the 19th of January all the way to the 3rd of February? So that's been almost 2 extra weeks that you had to wait just for it to hit that little move to the downside and hit maybe your potential target of 1R. Your 2R didn't even get hit yet. It was only a 1R target. So these little flaws people don't really hammer out in their own trading, and then they make bigger mistakes. Let's see another thing. Maybe instead of taking a short right here, you identify that it's bullish now and you don't want to take a short, you want to take a long. And maybe you look up here and you see that it's not strong to take a long, so it's consolidating at the highs. but then you see an opportunity to go short again. During this whole entire time, you're not sitting there holding large amount of margin. You're not tied up in margin because you have a large capital, a large position down here waiting for it to get cleared out. Maybe you have free space, you're trading other pairs, or you're just waiting on the side. You have more capital in your pockets for when the time does come to take advantage of opportunity. You can actually see that the uptrend ended right here, a downtrend began right here, and maybe you entered a short right around here, and you took advantage of that short for the next 2 weeks. So while this is moving on down, you might have took profit one right there, waited for it to reverse, fail of that uptrend, another sell right here, profit number two right here, another sell right here, profit number three right here. You could have entered, been in and out of different types of trades, building your account instead of waiting for that one trade to hit. So there's a lot of flaws that people have in their own systems, and I'm giving you just some examples. I do this all the time, so that's exactly what I mean. One hour, I'll come back. Yeah. Okay. Yep, just apologies for that. Just had some housekeeping come. They're trying to clean up the room, but I'm not ready. I'm recording. Um, so that's pretty much all that I have to cover in this video. Um, I don't want it to go on for too long. It's been about almost half an hour. So I'm gonna split the segment up. I do some live back testing trading in the next video. And yeah, that's about it, y'all. Hopefully you took some helpful advice. And yeah, this is it.